Well, good evening, everybody. Good evening. This is your man, Martin Anaya, and you are watching California Film Foundation's The Breakdown. This is all things film, film talk, and filmmakers. And I am so very excited this evening. We've got a fantastic show for you because we are previewing the 2022 Sacramento International Film Festival. Now, Sacramento Film Festival kind of feels like it's been going on for a long time, and it's not because well, you know what it is. It's COVID. And so what that has meant it's changed everything for us this year. We had some screenings back in June. And of course, with Nick Leisure's fantastic movie that brought the house down, standing room only, and of course brought the folks out from Hollywood. But we had to take a little bit of a hiatus because you know what the thing is when you're dealing with COVID, folks, and you're trying to do events. Normally, the Sacramento Film Festival would be an 8-day event, right? But not this year because if you had to, for whatever reason, go back into lockdown, you don't want to cancel 8 days in a row. So what we've been doing is we've been doing some little dink and dunks. But now I am finally happy to tell you, very happy to report that it is time to do the finale. That's right, the grand finale. And it'll be 2 days of live screenings coming up, right? December the 14th and the 15th. We're going to talk to some of these fantastic filmmakers in just a moment, including Vernon Wells. And you're not going to want to miss this because this gentleman has been the star of many movies for such a long time now. I'm kind of eager to talk to him about his breadth and depth of experience in Hollywood and also working with independent filmmakers and so forth. Very, very excited. That's coming up a little bit later. But what we want to do is we want to find out a little bit about this 2 days. So in the way of a brief explanation, let me tell you this. On the 14th and the 15th, that's going to be our live screenings. So on the 14th, we're going to start out with a movie called The Christmas Tapes, and that's the movie that Vernon is starring in. We're going to talk to that film's producer, director in just a moment, and we're going to have, I hope, a really exciting time learning. And you're going to get the opportunity to learn too. So if you're watching me right now, I'm just starting to see people kind of percolate on my stream. I know we're going out on about 10 different platforms right now. So what I need you to do while you're watching is think about if there's a question or an idea that comes up for you, something that you want to say or ask about either the film festival or about some of these exciting components that I'm going to be talking about. So again, 14th, we start out, world premiere of The Christmas Tapes, starring again Vernon Wells, and of course, Dave Sheridan, and not to be missed, Mr. Greg Sestero. Now, little birdies have told me that Vernon and Dave Sheridan will be live with us on the 14th in the house. And by the way, this is all taking place at the Tower Theater in Sacramento. And if you guys don't know about the Tower, I did a little video recently that talked about the history of the Tower Theater, the history of Tower Records, and the history of this film festival. Because as it turns out, the gentleman who was the founder of Tower Records, Russ Solomon, was also one of the film festival founders as well. So very, very exciting stuff. Then on the 15th, then we go into the 48 Hours Sacramento, or what we're now calling the 48 Hours California. We should probably call it the 48 Hours International because we got movies coming in from all over the world. In just a moment here, I'm going to talk to a couple of these young independent filmmakers that literally made movies in 48 hours, and they're going to talk to us about their film. So I'm really excited today. We got a lot of stuff in store for you. I will tell you, though, that all this information, if you want to find out how to get tickets and where you can find out more about these different movies and some of the other tracks, you want to go to californiafilm.net. All right. That's californiafilm.net. And that's what you see at the bottom of your screen there. And while you're there, folks, do yourself a huge favor and become a member. That's right. It's free to join. Basic membership is free for the California Film Foundation. And whether you're a fan of movies, a fan of cinema, and or an actual creator, you're going to find an amazing treasure trove of resources there where we have interviewed people from the top echelons of the film industry who are coming back to bring their knowledge to you to help you get better at what you do. So if you're a filmmaker or any kind of person in the crafts, you're going to want to be a member of the California Film Foundation. And of course, you're going to get all that 411 about the Sacramento Film Festival too. And hey, by the way, if you're just a fan, maybe you're one of those people that likes to watch the DVD, like the behind the scenes stuff. Well, guess what? We got you covered. That's what the California Film Foundation is all about. That is the mothership and the organizing entity that puts on the Sacramento International Film Festival. Now, unless I'm remiss, 2 more days are going to be digital. So I just told you about Wednesday and Thursday, right? The 14th and the 15th. Then on the 16th, we're going to have a party that night. But then on the Saturday and Sunday, those are going to be 2 all-day digital conferences. The Digital Odyssey, which is a film conference, and then on Sunday the 18th, that's going to be the American Screenwriting Conference. So we're going to end with a bang this year, folks. And by the way, that American Screenwriting Conference, if you become a member, we're making that entirely free for you. Normally, it's a $99 conference, and we have a lot of big hitters that come and participate. And this year is no exception. So go on that website, check that out, become a member, sign up. And while I'm giving away some goodies here, all right, let me just save it. But what I will do. All right. No, I can't help myself. All right, check it out, folks. Here's what I'm going to do. I want to roll a trailer right now because I talked to you about the 48-hour films, right? Those are going to happen on the 15th, right? December the 15th. That's a Thursday night, okay? But they're also going to roll with an amazing feature that literally just came off the press. I mean, the ink is still wet, folks. And rather than for me to blah, 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 I think, why don't we roll a little trailer? Johnny, do you think you got that trailer teed up? You got that? Why don't we go ahead and roll this trailer? It's called Amy's Fuck It List. Check it out.
Just a film.
The wine?
Unless there's time for a gel. Could she do a gel dip? Can she do it?
Amy! There she is! Amy!
How much is this?
It's $1.
Always coming home late. Try to
Yes, just a fill.
Amy! Amy! How much is this?
It's $1.
Gel dip.
Amy!
How much is this?
It's $1. It's gonna be $4. My name is Amy Taylor, and my mundane life is about to get a lot worse. I have an inoperable brain tumor. It's crazy.
The reality is, the real Amy died when Dad did. Why don't you actually live a little with the time you have left?
God, it's always so much easier in the movies.
Amy, what you need is a list!
Picked the wrong day to with me.
Years of Spanish, the nerve. What are you doing?
I'm doing what everyone wishes they could do.
You're better than this.
She might be better than this, but I'm not.
Oh my God!
We're gonna get Dad's money back, okay? Focus, okay?
You're bluffing. You don't have the balls.
No, actually, you don't have the balls. So, landing in jail wasn't how I planned to spend my last day on Earth. Or was it?
Oh man. All right. Okay. I don't know about you, but I had a couple of laugh out loud moments watching that trailer. Now that trailer is the first peek of a movie that's already been sold. It's already going into distribution, but you're going to get the very first opportunity to see it on a very special sneak presentation. Okay, this is a very special presentation exclusive to the Sacramento International Film Festival. And by the way, my 48-hour filmmaker friends, guess what? We're going to pair that as a double feature with you. And we did that on purpose. I'll tell you why. Long story short, we know that as you are 48-hour filmmakers, you're kind of coming into this. Well, we want you to see what it's like from a gentleman who's been there. And the gentleman, by the way, that I'm talking about is Mr. Mark S. Allen. A lot of people in Sacramento know him as a personality. He's interviewed all the stars. He's been in Hollywood for years, interviewing and bringing those interviews back to Sacramento, Northern California. And but in the last several years, he's partnered up with a gentleman named Howard Bird to do several big features that couple of which we've had the pleasure of having something to do with at the Sacramento International Film Festival. And this one has not hit theaters. You're going to see it very, very first opportunity in Northern California right here, along with the 48-hour films. In fact, I don't even think we have it up on the website yet. So, folks, I don't know what more I can do for you. I mean, we're giving you everything but the kitchen sink here. That's called Amy's Fuck It List, and you're not going to want to miss it. Now, what I want to do right now is I want to bring in a couple of these filmmakers. I want to start with a gentleman named Troy Lee. Troy, are you out there? Where are you out there, brother? There he is. Hey, Troy, can you hear me okay? Okay, because I can't hear you at all. Yeah, man. Johnny, does he have audio? No. Okay, hang on. Troy, how about now? Can you hear me now? No. All right, hang on. Let me see what I got here. Okay. How about now, brother? Can you hear me now? All right. Well, tell you what, Troy, let me do this. Let me find out a little bit about you, man. What's going on in your world? Tell me a little bit about yourself. Vinny Langdon. Come in, Vinny Langdon.
Hey, what's up,
Hey,
everybody?
man.
How you
Yeah, we
doing?
had a little trouble with Troy's audio there, and I thought it was me, but it looks like it was him instead. My bad, Troy. Troy, we got to try to see if we can get you to fix your audio, brother, and we'll dip you back in, okay, brother? My bad about that. Don't know what happened to his audio, but Vinny, hey, brother.
Hey, what's up? Long time no see.
Hey, man. Well, listen, I got to tell the people who you are, okay? You're a 48-hour filmmaker, but you've been rocking with the Sacramento Film Festival for a long time, haven't you?
Yeah. A decade plus.
A
We'll just leave it
decade
at
plus.
that.
Why, dude? Why would you? I mean, a lot of filmmakers, they'll do a 48-hour film and then they're like done. They'll do one and then they'll be like, I don't ever want to go through this again.
Yeah. Well, my background, I grew up as an actor, and then I, did a lot of theater in school, and local TV commercials, pizza commercials. Hey, there's Vinny in a Toyota car commercial growing up. And then I got into behind the scenes and I said, been there, done that. And I love it. And what I do now is I'm a full-time video producer. So I'm, from sunrise to sunset, I'm always, doing work for other people. It's,
Mm-hmm.
hey, a client says, hey, we want this, you got to be specific and do what they want. And
Mm-hmm.
it's great, but the creativity, it kind of dies. It's kind of like, hey, get a basic long shot, get a medium shot, and you're stuck with that. And I just love doing the 48-hour film festival every year because it goes back to my roots of why I got into filmmaking in the first place. Is you could be creative, you can tell a story, have fun with it, and if you really want to pursue this, it's a great opportunity. You can show off your skills. People say, Vinny, you're a great writer, you're a great actor. Well, hey, I can show it off with my abilities in a project like this.
Yeah, no, outstanding, man. And now you're originally a NorCal guy,
Yeah,
but you moved to not Philly, but Pennsylvania somewhere. Where you living? Actually, you're
right.
in New
So
York now, right? Where are you now?
I'm back and forth. I'm all over the place. So I
Okay.
I kind of, yeah, with my job, I'm all over the place. But currently, yeah, right here in Pennsylvania, and doing a lot of work in New York City, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania, and wherever
Well, I
Vinny's
just
needed,
no, it's
I
just
go.
hilarious. It's just hilarious, man, because you moved to Pennsylvania and then somehow we get like 5 48-hour films from Pennsylvania that aren't yours. But so
Yeah,
there's a
yeah.
little Pennsylvania filmmaking hub over there, huh?
Yeah, I loved, how great the Sacramento community was. And a lot of my, long time, I would consider them actual friends, actually came because of the Sacramento Film Festival community, participated in the Digital Odyssey Festival. And, it's all about
Mhm.
networking. And, then it's every now and then you get a message or a phone call from someone from back in the day. And they're like, hey, Vinny, I'm working on a film and I'd love for your input. And I'm like, dude, that's so awesome. It's been like 5 or maybe 10 years that, these people are still at it some way, somehow. Of course, we all have that, normal day job we have to do, but like to see
Sure.
people, actually stick with it, it's awesome. And when I came here to Pennsylvania,
Mhm.
almost 7 years ago now, I missed that. And I was like, "Oh, where's the filmmakers at?" And people were like, "Yeah, I'm a filmmaker." And I'm like, "Oh, what are you working on?" They're like, "I don't know. I haven't done a movie in like 15
But
years."
that's
I'm
how it
like,
goes, right? At this
you
level,
know?
right? I mean, it doesn't matter where you are, right? That's just the way
Yeah.
you gotta do it, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, so I kind of plugged into the local hub in, Northeast Pennsylvania, and people were like, "Hey, what are you working on?" And I'm like, "Well, uh, usually Marty with the Sacramento Film Festival, like he likes to stick it with Sacramento, but because of COVID, he's doing
Yeah,
it
man.
virtual. So why
Yeah,
don't you
man.
guys try this?" So yeah, go
Absolutely.
ahead and have them hooked up. So they're
Absolutely.
like,
You're international now. We had a couple of movies submitted from Cairo, Egypt. Last year we had one from Dublin, Ireland, I think. I mean, all over the place. Vinny, hang tight, brother, because we try to get this gal Mel Franco on. And Mel, I'm going to add you to the stream again. Johnny, why don't you bring Mel in so she can help us out here with this conversation? Hi, Mel. Okay, we didn't run you off. Okay, good. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Wonderful. Mel, tell us the name of your movie and tell us what you do.
Yeah, so my film was called Unhinged, and I'm a DP and video editor. And yeah,
And you're working with who on that? Was that Alexis Arriaga?
yes, Alexis Arriaga
Oh man,
wrote, directed, produced it.
she's a dynamo. All right, just tell. I want each of you to tell me one reason why somebody might want to come out to your movie and check your movie out. Okay, just let's start. Let's start with you, Mel. What I mean, people are gonna like. Okay, wait a minute. I'm gonna spend $15 and go see these movies. Never mind that it's a double feature with Mark S. Allen's Amy's Fuck It list. But tell me why. Let's say they weren't going to see that. Let's say they were just going to come out with a 48. Give me a reason. Go ahead, Mel.
Yeah, I guess my reason would be we all worked really hard on it, and that alone is huge. Everyone who participated worked really hard and really fast, and I think it'll be really fun for you all to
All
come
right.
out and see it.
All right, Vinny, you got to beat. We worked hard. All right. What do you got, Vinny? Come on, man.
"There you go."
This
So
is show
first off,
business, baby. It ain't show. We worked hard. What is it? Come on, hit me.
absolutely. So when I tell you the title of my film, they'll probably already want you to come see it.
All right.
All right, so my film is called The Creature in Buttsville. And you're probably thinking, Buttsville, what? Well, actually, Buttsville actually happens to be a real city in America. And back in 1957, Sputnik was being launched and America was kind of losing its mind. And in my film, you'll see, you know, 2 people in my movie actually lose their mind over what's going on in Buttsville, New Jersey.
All right.
Come check it out.
Okay, now hang on a minute. Now, Mel, are you taking notes here? I know you're an editor, you're not a promoter, but I mean, you're taking a little note here on how to sell the sizzle. All right, I like it. All right, Vinny. Now I'm going to try to see if we can bring Troy back in there. We had a little problem with his audio a little bit earlier. Let's see if we can bring him in. Troy, are you there, bro? Oh man, we're still having that audio difficulty, brother. All right. Well, Troy, listen, I want you to know, I want all 3 of you to know that we are extremely proud of you. Okay. Vinny, of course, you know, you've been doing this for a long time. It goes without saying. I hope you know how much I love you. But Mel and Troy, I want you guys to both know that this thing that we're doing here, this thing that you're doing here, and that we're about to show next week, it's not for the faint of heart, and we realize that, and we know how much blood, sweat, and tears, literally, that go into these things. It's not easy, man. It's not easy. So we love you, we appreciate you, and we're going to celebrate you this next week. Okay, guys? All right. Now listen, folks, here's what I'm going to do right now. All right. Here, what do we got, Johnny? Where's Johnny, by the way? Johnny, you got another trailer, man, that we can roll? You got one for me? I'd love to do just one more little trailer here and get the folks kind of whet their appetite for what's coming next. This is coming up next week with the Sacramento Film Festival. Check this out.
Do you want to just go check? I'll show you there's nothing out there. It's probably nothing.
Are you expecting somebody?
No.
Hey, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. My car broke down and my phone's dead.
Oh, no, come on in.
Are you sure?
Of course, it's Christmas.
Gee, what's your Christmas tradition?
Every Christmas, we do watch a movie.
Making the next great Christmas movie.
What's in the box?
It's not midnight yet.
They let in a super weird guy.
Good hands, take off.
Rachel, go!
Get over here. Cast photo, here we go. You asked what was in my box?
I don't want to know what's in the box.
Well, yeah, you do, because you asked about it. He doesn't show you any good films, because he's not original. So you're going to take this and you're going to put it in, and we're going to get started, all right?
We're here with our very own Christmas scarecrow.
No one will ship a human being. Luckily, I found this guy, so he's going to deliver me right to the front door.
Christmas, you've got to give something back. I am the piper. The piper has to be paid.
We were looking forward to Christmas also, because we were about to do a Christmas seance.
This is going to be a good one.
Whoa, Ian, you do not want to sit down now.
What is that, Harry?
Get down.
I don't even know what's coming. Settle in.
Wow. All right. Little Yuletide terror there for you. If you think that we didn't take care of you for the Halloween season, we just kind of maybe delayed it a little bit here at the Sacramento Film Festival. That's looking good. That's called the Christmas Tapes. And I happen to have the film's producer and director here. I got Mr. Travis Ayers and Mr. Rob Livings. If Johnny, if we can bring them in, I would really, really be in your debt. Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, good. Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you. No, thanks for being here. And Johnny, if you could bring them up full screen with me, I don't want to dwarf these guys because they are the stars of this show. Thank you, Johnny. First of all, Rob, talk to me. What was the inspiration for this? Whose idea was it, and how did it come to be?
This kind of stemmed from Greg Sestero. We just made Infrared, and he'd seen the rough cut of his scenes, and he called me and he was like, I want to do more with that character, and I don't know what. And
now help us out. There might be some people to watch and that have not seen Infrared. What's Infrared?
So Infrared is a found footage horror film that we shot out at the old Marshall School in Boulevard Park, Sacramento, last year, which released earlier this year, and you can see it on Tubi and wherever you find movies, it exists. And yeah, so we shot with Greg, and he called and he was just like, wow, I had a lot of fun playing that character. I'd love to do that again. And I think he probably didn't mean the same character. He probably meant the same kind of kind of character.
Now,
And,
Greg Sestero, again, I'm going to interrupt you, but that name rings a bell for me. But how should we know Greg Sestero?
So, oh, hi, Mark. So he's Mark from The Room. And Travis is actually my connection to Greg, and that's how Travis got involved initially with that. And yeah, so anyway, he wanted to play the character. Me and Randy were kind of joking around, me like, wouldn't it be funny if it was a Christmas anthology and he kidnapped his family? And then we went from like laughing to like going, huh. Yeah, basically we were like, well, I don't know what month it was. But we were like, well, we better get started if we want to get it out this Christmas, because obviously it's a seasonal film. So we wanted to hit the market at this right time.
Now, how long did it take you stem to stern to get this thing in the can?
Well, this is anthology, so it's like 5 separate segments. So we separated it into 1 segment a month. So we would set a period aside, we'd produce, shoot, and then we would edit whilst we were producing the next segment. So I'd be producing while Randy was editing, and we just had this cycle going. And yeah, we delivered everything in August, and it's screening now, and then it will be out on digital December 16th.
Now, Travis, I've actually went ahead and IMDb'd your name, and you've got your fingers in a lot of pies, man. And by the way, happy holidays to you, sir.
Thank you. Yes,
absolutely. Tell us, if you don't mind, tell the audiences, because I know you're a behind the scenes guys. Tell the audiences, what do you mainly do? You're a film producer, but what are your skill sets for those maybe who are going to try to glean from your experiences?
Anything and everything. So I started out, I did like 3 or 4 years working as a PR director for a art house theater in Pittsburgh. Really, that's kind of how I got my start.
Wait, Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Right around the corner from Vinny's place there.
Yes. So yeah, no, I got my start there. Really, that's kind of how I would say I got my feet wet. One thing that I did is, I think this is way before Cameo, but I kind of wanted to add kind of an extra zing to screenings. So I think one of the first ones that I did, we were showing Suspiria, like the anniversary. And I had reached out to Jessica Harper's people, who's the lead actress in Suspiria. And I said, hey, we're screening Suspiria. Would you be able to shoot a quick introduction that we could play before the movie? And she responded fairly quickly. And, I kind of got that confidence. I was like, oh, I should do this for more movies. Like it, it adds value. It's cool. So I just started doing that, and that led to John Waters, that led to Jack Black. Like it just kind of gave me that confidence that, maybe I didn't have before. And I was like, maybe I could do this. And it just kind of like led to me interacting with more people, like agents, managers, publicists. And then I think the last person that I got before I actually left the theater was George Hardy, the dad from Troll 2. Mm-hmm. And we kind of struck up this really interesting conversation. He didn't have anyone representing him. He was just, he's a full-time dentist. He never quit his career as a dentist. He has been a dentist since, he was in Troll 2. And I was like, hey, I love Troll 2. I loved Best Worst Movie. Like, you seem like a fantastic person. I'm looking to kind of expand my career, and I would love to represent you. Just, hey, why not ask? It's
interesting how a lot of managers and agents, maybe not a lot, but I've definitely seen where managers and agents and people that kind of come into it end up as producers, right? That happens. That's not uncommon, is it?
No, not at all. And I think one thing too is one of my really close friends and really a big mentor of mine is Dallas Anier, who produced Drag Cost Concrete, Bone Tomahawk. He started out as a manager. He managed Greta Gerwig and kind of like exactly what you said.
Well, we know a little bit of something about Greta Gerwig around here.
Yes.
So he managed her in the early days when she was doing all the mumblecore?
Yes, in the very early days. And he went from being a manager to a producer. So is exactly what you said. But when I started working with George, he introduced me to Tyler Russell, who was directing films at the time. And I started out as George's manager. But at the time, like starting out, I had never really produced a movie. I had produced a documentary called Adjust Your Tracking, which is kind of a VHS homage, but it was only through Kickstarter. Like I helped
You
with
don't
the
look that old.
GoFundMe.
You don't look old enough to know anything about adjusting tracking, bro.
34 years old, brother. I grew up with VHS, man. Hey, I grew up with it.
All right.
So,
All right.
but yeah,
Hey, real
no,
quick,
that was
let
my
me
first
just
one.
I just want to interject here just because we have a lot of people in here that are pretty stoked. Let's see. Rudy says the creepy movie the guy was facing the family to watch the trailer is still better than the Hallmark Christmas movies. All right, good. Somebody else is really excited about John Waters. They perked up when John Waters came into the conversation. Folks, by the way, at home, if you have any questions for these guys, please help me out. Now, if I could, real quick, Rob, same question I asked the young filmmakers there. I mean, why do people want to come out and check out this kind of a movie? Are they going to be shocked? Are they going to be laughing? Are they going to be a mixture of both?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think for Christmas tapes, obviously there's a comment in that Hallmark thing you just mentioned there, but I think it's a different kind of Christmas experience. It's a horror comedy. So the film starts as a horror, and the trajectory goes up. It just gets weirder and funnier as far as the approach we've taken. And it seems like
it, bro.
People are reacting to it well. There's not a whole lot of tickets left. Also, I just think like coming out.
Oh no! Yes, we would be remiss. By the way, the tickets are flying off the shelves, folks. If you're going to get tickets to this, you got to do it now. You go to that website right there, CaliforniaFilm.net, because by the time we end up promoting this tonight, I don't know, we might be sold out by the end of maybe certainly by the weekend, I would think. Yeah. But go ahead, Rob.
But yeah, no, it's a fun film. It's definitely one to see with an audience. I know I said it's coming out on digital a couple of days after. This is your only chance to see it in theaters, at least for now.
Yes, sir.
Well, in America.
Yeah,
definitely come on out. Oh, thank you to who's got the ticket. I just saw they said they had their ticket in the chat.
Got mine. Antonio says got mine already.
Yeah,
and but he's also asking a question of you, Rob, and that is, what makes a good horror movie?
Ooh, I think you just need to care about the characters so that when something happens to them, then it matters. That'll be my answer every time.
That would be an axiom for any film. Now, by the way, before we are remiss here, I want to go ahead and bring in one of the stars of the movie. I've been teasing Vernon Wells, and I'd like to bring him in right now if we can, just to add to this conversation. Oh, Vernon.
Yeah.
Another Australian.
You guys are both Aussies now. How did that look? There's a lot of serendipities going on here. You got two Aussies. We got a couple of people from Pennsylvania. And are you ready for this? So your movie is the following night, Vernon. The theme for our 48-hour film festival this year, the 48-hour component, is weird science. And of course, Vernon, you were in that movie. So I got to tell you, man, there's all kinds of little serendipities going on around here. Vernon, it's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
My pleasure to be here, my friend.
Absolutely. And I guess I'll start with you, the same question, man. What makes a great movie or a great horror movie?
What makes a great horror movie?
In your estimation.
Rob and I have been through this. I told him I wouldn't do a horror movie because I was scared of them. I think a great horror movie is, I was asked this question the other day and I answered it this way, is that once upon a time when we first came out of the trees, man was scared of everything because no matter where we stepped, something was going to bite us on the ass. And so horror that really works is horror of something that we feel is friendly, nice to us. What's better than having Santa Claus be the biggest a-hole you could ever get? That is horrific. That's taking away one of these things where, you're sitting there and you go, good God, I sat on Santa's knee when I was 5 years old. And so good horror reacts with people on a level that they understand. And that's really scary. It's like, oh shit, I could have been, but by the grace of God, there go I. that kind of thing. That's what I feel makes good horror. And this clown over here, he's on the other side of me with the black headset on. I know it's what is it? It's a bloody cat. Wolf cat.
Got to promote our company with Cat Films. There we go.
Wolf cat. But he never quits. He
Gotcha.
is a master at doing this stuff.
Well, and of course, we've had a little bit of experience with him with the first film that we were a part of this last summer. But I got to say something, Vernon. I was what was the year? I guess was it 82? I can't even remember the year, but I went into a sneak preview of a movie, and they gave you the little feedback cards. And Sacramento happens to be one of these everywhere kind of cities. It's a big enough city. A lot of film companies like to test their movies there, right? So I went in not having seen the original that this movie was, I guess, a sequel to. And I was blown away and at the same time thrilled and at the same time terrified, sir, by your character in the film The Road Warrior. Now, for those of people that don't know, maybe some of the youngsters that are watching right now, if you've never seen The Road Warrior, you got to put that. That's Mel Gibson, of course, stars. But your character was one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen. And I think for me, it was just because, not what you're saying, the familiarity of it, but just because this guy was completely unhinged. This character was completely, you had no idea where he was coming from or what he might do. Now, very famous Aussie director directed that movie. What was your inspiration? Did he tell you? Did he give you those lines, or are those crazy looks in your eyes, that nutty look that you had in your eyes, or what? Where did that come from?
Strangely enough, I'd never done a film in my life until I did. So I had the greatest way of doing things in history. I just went with it. But George is an amazing human being in every which way.
George Miller, right? The director, right?
Miller, the director.
Yeah.
He creates this attitude within you that you can do anything. And he fosters that so that when you're on the set, you don't have any reason to feel that you can't do what's coming up. And George often says that, because I always say George created my career, and he always says that actually what he did was he gave me 21 lines and I created a movie.
Oh, wow.
Because all the things I did in Mad Max, actually I did. They became part of the character to me.
Right.
Not the way he reacted, but how we got to that point. For 5 days, we wrote a backstory of a character from when the film started back to when we were born. We would bring it in every morning and read it for Terry Hayes, George Miller, and the other writer, and they would listen to us and they'd go, "That's dumb. Yeah, I like that. Keep that. Where'd you get that one from?" And it would then we'd go home, we'd write it, back to the hotel, we'd write it again.
Mm-hmm.
So we did that for 5 days. By the end of that time, we had completely made these characters real to us because it was from our time of being young to our time of starting in this movie that we had actually put on paper.
Wow.
And so it became a very easy, don't get me wrong, it's not easy ever doing anything in movies, but it became a very easy thing to adapt to simply because we had all the information there. And that's how Wes came about. Wes was just a character who wanted to survive. He wanted to live, and it didn't matter what it took.
Boy, did he. Well, I got to tell you, man, hats off to you. You've had a fantastic career. I can't wait to see the Christmas tapes. This is going to be a lot of fun. And gentlemen, I want to tip my hat to all three of you, because you guys have really done it. You've taken and you've made dreams reality. And so, folks at home, whether you're a filmmaker or whatever you do, I think you could learn a lot from these guys. Now, you guys are all going to be with us on the 15th. Am I right? Is that right? You're all going
I'll be there
with us?
spiritually.
14th. Yeah.
Oh, the 14th. That's right. That's
14th.
right. You're actually opening the show. We better not get that wrong. Yeah, that's December the 14th. And by the way, those tickets are moving fast. So you got to go to that californiafilm.net to get them. Couple of words of wisdom from each of you as we close out here. Travis, you first.
Good choice there. I think just be kind, like be patient, be kind. Because one thing that I always learned is, I think a big thing is, actually no. My whole career is not being afraid to hear no. Everything I've ever learned has been based on reaching out on a cold basis. I've reached out to people, with cold emails. I met Rob. Me and Rob connected basically by reaching out to each other on cold emails,
Right.
So don't ever be afraid to hear the word no.
Right. Well, I've certainly heard it enough. So,
yeah.
Oh, wait, we
I've
talking
heard
about
the
my
word no
dating
enough.
life? Oh, no. Okay, never mind. All right, Rob, you
So-
too. Same question.
Yeah, I'll go to the words of wisdom. I kind of want to hear Vernon answer Gage's question there in the chat about improvisation. But
Go ahead if you want to answer that, Vernon. Real quick, we'll take the time for it. Is there a lot of room for improvisation when acting for a horror character rather than say some other kind of genre?
Oh, that's a good question. Usually, no. Usually you're nailed to a very strict protocol. But when you work with certain people, they give you the outline of a movie and say, "Go play."
Mm-hmm.
So then you have to be as smart as you think you are. Otherwise, you're going to fall flat on your ass.
Mm-hmm.
But and I love it, by the way. As Rob knows, I get the most joy out of doing that stuff. So
I mean, you look like everything I've seen you in. It looks like you're having a ball up there. All right, sir, Mr. Rob, give us a little words of wisdom here from your perspective as a filmmaker.
Just make something. There's so many people sit around saying, I'm going to make a film when my script is right. And then they spend 5 years not getting one script right. Like, go out and make something and realize that you can. Just like, I think to be a filmmaker, you've got to make films, right? So I made a feature for $120 and that kicked it off being like, well, I mean, it wasn't great, but I was like, okay, so that's a start. Like that, I know it can be done. And then it's gone on from there, and each film is getting progressively bigger. And now we're working with amazing people like Vernon and Dave and Greg. Yeah.
All right, Vernon, no pressure, but bring us home.
Words of wisdom. Yeah, my words of wisdom are very simple. It was said to me a long time ago, is that when you knock on the door and it's open, put your foot in it. Because the more they slam the door and your foot's there, the more frustrated they'll get, and eventually they'll go, oh, for God's sake, what do you want? Never quit. I don't
Absolutely.
care. Filmmaker, an actor, a producer, or what? Never quit. If you're going to do it, get off your ass. Same as Rob said. Do it. Don't quit. Just do it.
All right. Nothing to it but to do it. All right. Well, with that, gentlemen, I just want to thank the three of you. And of course, want to thank our 48-hour filmmakers. And again, I might have misspoke once or twice, but December the 14th, that's the Christmas tapes. It is opening the grand finale of the 2022 Sacramento International Film Festival. You can get those tickets at californiafilm.net, but you do have to hurry because we're almost at a sellout now. And then on December the 15th, as we said, it's the 48-hour film plus Amy's Fuck It list. And again, that one is absolutely hot off the presses. You're not even going to see it on the website yet, but just know that you are going to get a wonderful evening of entertainment. On the 16th, guys, you are my special guests. We're going to have a party that's going to be at the Reunion Nightclub in Old Sacramento. So please come, be our guests, and folks at home, we want you to come too. That'll be another live event and sponsored by the California Film Foundation. And then on the 17th and the 18th, we'll close out with two wonderful programs. The first one being the Digital Odyssey Conference. That's on the 17th, Saturday, and then on the 18th, the American Screenwriters Conference. Gentlemen, I want to thank you so very much for being here. And you folks at home, do yourself a favor and listen to these guys. Go out there and make something happen for yourself. We thank you so very much. We'll see you next time right here on The Breakdown. Take it easy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.